At the grocery store, you might compare products. If they look the same, why is there a difference in price? We'll apply that thinking to our cars this morning. It's our second of 3 questions. Here with the answers, a guy you know well, Peter Fink from Certified Transmission. Hey, Peter.
Oh, always fun to be here.
So any issues after, ice falls, and then what do you see in your shops?
Oh my gosh, I mean, obviously yesterday was really horrendous. The side streets, your sidewalks, the driveways. You know, in the old days, we used to have rear-wheel drive cars, and so we put snow tires and studded snow tires, and so they went better on the ice, okay? And some people even put chains on, not for ice, but snow, but obviously on ice it'd go really well. Today we all, I don't want to say are lazy, but you know, we buy the all-season tires, and you know what? They work almost every day of the year except for maybe 3 or 4 a year, okay? And then of course we have to deal with it, okay?
Like
stuff,
yesterday was a deal with it kind of day. And we did. I mean, I parked in my in-laws' driveway and just all of a sudden start going back, and I'm like, well, holy heck, what am I supposed to do now? You've heard all those
stories. I mean, my daughter slid down the driveway. My driveway was slick, and you know, I even salted it and sanded it. And people do it, and I mean, yesterday was just a bad day. Okay.
Well, listen, warm up is coming, as Ryan told us off the top of the hour. So even later on today, we're going to be in better shape. We've got 3 questions from viewers. So Doug is up first, and he writes, my 1998 Dodge Dakota has a bad squeak coming from the front end. It's very irritating and very embarrassing. I can't seem to figure out where it's coming from. Any ideas?
Well, when we say a bad squeak, okay, I don't know if he's talking a squeal or a squeak. And second, he didn't say if it's doing it when it's sitting still or driving and things, okay? I'm going to interpret this as it's doing it all the time, kind of from the question here. And if that's the case, it means it's something with the engine running. Usually if it's going to be with the engine running, it's going to be something with the front of the engine, such as a belt, okay, that is going bad.
But he says, he did say it was coming from the front end. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I don't know if he means the suspension. I mean, it's kind of general terms, okay? But since he says it does it all the time, I'm thinking it does it when he's sitting still, okay? And if it was suspension related or front end or ball joints or brakes or anything, it wouldn't do it when you're sitting still. So that's why I'm thinking engine. I'm sorry, I mean, I'm interpreting
Let me ask you
here.
this. Does it ever make a difference if we call in, we're making an appointment at Certified Transmission, and I say, okie doke, it sounds like this, and then I make the sound over the phone. Does that ever work for diagnosis?
Oh, we have people sometimes, they'll have the noise going on and hold the phone, or, you know, especially with cell phones and stuff.
Do that,
We say, just bring it in, we'll listen to it at that time. You know,
we're a little more accurate that way.
And we try to get, you know, we'll ask you a lot of questions, and a good shop always will. The more you can tell us, the easier it's to diagnose. Back to this one, I think it's probably something with the belt or the front of it. Take the belt off, start it up, see if the noise is all gone. If the noise is gone, you either got a belt problem, alternator, power steering, water pump, something along them lines is squealing, going bad, okay, and stuff. You're going to have to test one at a time. A good way to do it is use a long bar and kind of touch the alternator, touch the water pump, put it up to your ear, and you can hear it. And if it's really, really loud, it's amazing how it echoes through that long
sound waves.
Okay, and you can tell which component it is.
Well, that's cool.
So,
all right, let's get to our second question, and it's from Paul. He writes, there seems to be a big range in the price of car batteries. Are the more expensive ones really worth an extra $50?
Well, great question, and I see this is where the grocery question came in, okay? You know, do I buy the Hy-Vee brand, or do I buy Del Monte or Green Giant, okay, or something? On batteries, myself, I always buy the best, okay? And again, this is what I tell people. If you plan to keep the car, buy the battery with the longest warranty, okay? With the longest warranty, it's going to cost more, okay, and stuff. But to me, usually it means it's a better battery, okay? A cheaper battery, and I don't want to name brands out there, but, you know, if you buy one for $49, $59, $69, okay? My experience has been they last okay for a couple of years, okay? So it does kick the can down the road. If you buy a more pricey battery in the $100 range and above, and I mean, there's batteries it for $200, okay? What I found is they last 4, 5, 6 years, okay? So myself, I like doing it once and don't have to worry about it for a long time.
Well, because there's never a convenient time for a
It
battery to
doesn't
die.
Oh my God, no.
You know,
and I look at it with the cold and everything. If I got a stronger, better battery, it's just going to give me a lot less trouble when it's 20 below out or something. And I went up to Wyoming last weekend. It was negative 40 below, okay?
That's comfy.
Not windshield temperature, actual temperature. You know what? The Dodge truck I was in, a good friend of mine's, his batteries didn't make it.
Not at 40 below. Way to go. Our third question here is from Emily, and she writes, I'm house sitting for a couple spending a month in Florida. I bet their weather is quite a bit different than what you felt in Wyoming. Should I start or drive their car at all? It's in the garage. It's a 2005 Subaru Outback.
On this one, since it's only going to be sitting for a month, you don't have to do anything, okay? Cars can sit for a month with no problem, okay? The only thing I usually like to tell people is maybe put a battery tender if you're going to start being a couple months, okay? But a month, 5 weeks, it's fine. If you want to start it, you can do that too. It won't hurt it, okay? But don't just start it and then let it run for 30 seconds, okay? If you're going to start it, actually let it warm up and maybe let it run for 15, 20 minutes.
Does it make a difference if you drive it around the block too?
You could drive it around the block. It ain't going to hurt it. Like I said, you don't have to on this one. If you want to go wander around the neighborhood, hey, that's fine. You want to see how a Subaru drives? This is a good excuse, okay, and see how it handles. They're good cars, okay, different. You get to feel it, you know, and stuff like that. But really, you honestly don't have to. Okay,
I loved our questions today, but it also speaks to being specific. So if you've seen Peter on with us and you've thought, man, I'd like to write in, make and model are always helpful. And if this weather's got your transmission struggling, as we know sometimes, especially with snow, but ice, those conditions can test things. 5 locations for his shops in our area, and you can find the one nearest you at omaha.certifiedtransmission.com. Thank you, Peter.
Always fun, Mary.
And back to your questions. They could be featured during our next visit with Peter or another member of his team from Certified Transmission. A few ways to get those questions to us. Email talkback@omahamorningblend.com. Leave questions on our Facebook wall, but the hub for all of it is omahamorningblend.com. Kids and music, the Omaha